Welcome to The Explainer. We're often told that ancient wisdom and modern science are at odds. But what if that's not true at all? What if they're actually two sides of the very same coin, especially when it comes to your health? You know how it is, right? We tend to look at our health in little boxes. A sore back over here, some stress and anxiety over there. But what if those aren't separate issues? What if they're all connected, all pointing to one single deeper truth about how our bodies are really meant to heal? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. We're looking at how the ancient framework of traditional Chinese medicine, you'll hear me call it TCM, can actually integrate with modern science to give us a much more complete picture of what it truly means to be healthy. Okay, so right off the bat, this is not a quick fix. The whole idea is to build a really strong foundation, starting from the inside and working our way out. And with consistent practice, you can expect the benefits to just unfold naturally. We're talking about cellular healing kicking in during that first month. Then it moves up to tissue level repair in month 2. And by month 3, you're looking at benefits for your major organs and entire body systems. All right, so let's dive into section 1. This is maybe the most important piece of the whole puzzle. It's all about a fundamental shift in how we view our own bodies. So instead of just playing whack-a-mole with symptoms, right? This integrated view is all about getting to the root cause. It's about restoring your body's own natural vitality at the deepest level imaginable. I love this analogy. It's the difference between just patching a leak in the roof and actually reinforcing the entire foundation of the house. Okay, section 2. So, where does all this integration actually happen in the body? Well, we start with something we all know, but maybe don't fully appreciate: the spine. Think of it as the master switch, the exact point where physical structure meets the body's energy network. And this is where things get really interesting. This is where you see the two perspectives just line up perfectly. On one hand, you got modern science, which tells us that a properly aligned spine lets nerve signals travel freely, and those signals control, well, everything. On the other hand, you have TCM, describing the very same idea just with different words. It says a healthy spine opens up what's called the bladder meridian, which is basically one of the body's superhighways for energy and detoxification. See? Two different views, but they're pointing to the exact same truth. So that's the bladder meridian, and this really gets to the core of what we're talking about. It means that something as simple, as basic as improving your posture can have these huge, profound consequences for your energy levels and your body's ability to detoxify. It just goes to show physical structure and vital energy, they're not separate. They're literally two sides of the same coin. Okay, section 3. Now, this is all great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we put this into practice and start activating that inner energy? Okay, check this out. It looks almost too simple, but the idea behind it is incredibly deep. According to TCM, all 12 of the body's major energy highways, the meridians, they either start or end in your fingertips. So when you gently make a fist and then slowly release your fingers, you're essentially flicking the switch on your entire internal energy network. Simple but powerful. And it's the exact same principle with something like a slow jog. I mean, think about it. On a scientific level, what are you doing? You're stimulating your mitochondria. Those are the little power plants inside every single one of your cells. But from the TCM view, you're boosting your yang qi. That's your body's active, fiery, vital energy. So you get this awesome 2-for-1 benefit from one simple practice. All right, section 4. So we've talked about activating our energy physically. But the next step, this involves the mind. And honestly, this might be the most powerful, most transformative concept of all. It comes down to this simple but profound saying. The idea is that your focus, your attention, it isn't passive. It's an active tool. I want you to think of it like a steering wheel for your body's own energy. It's key. You can literally learn to guide that energy to specific places in your body to help with healing and bring things back into balance. And look, I know what you might be thinking. Is this just some abstract philosophical concept? No way. This is not just an idea. With practice and a little guidance, this energy movement is something you can actually feel. It's a real, tangible sensation. It's the experience of directing your own internal power. Okay, Here we are at section 5. Let's take that idea of focused attention and connect it to the final piece of this holistic puzzle, our emotions. This is where you really start to see how deeply everything is connected.
So in TCM, there's this really direct link between specific emotions and specific organ systems. For instance, ever notice how long-term anger can make you feel tense and hot? Well, that's linked to the liver system. Or how deep sadness can almost feel like it's sitting on your chest, affecting your breathing? That's connected to the lungs. It's like this incredible map showing how our feelings can literally show up in our bodies.
And just knowing this, just understanding these connections is so incredibly empowering. Why? Because it means you can use that same focused awareness we were just talking about, that whole where the mind goes, chi follows idea, to tune into these emotional states. And by doing that, you can help dissolve those energetic blockages and basically support your physical health from the inside out.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's this. Your posture, your energy, your mind, your emotions, they are not separate problems that need to be fixed one by one. They are all part of one single, beautifully integrated system. And once you grasp that, it's not just about finding a new way to heal. It's like you've been handed back the instruction manual for your own body. So the only real question left is, what's the first foundation stone you're going to lay today?